Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the live event today. I am Dr. Maria Sampalis. I have the pleasure of having Maria Concepcion Adano with us today, optometrist in the Philippines. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hi, Maria Sampalis. We're of the same Maria. We're okay. I'm okay. Philippines are okay because COVID is getting low in terms of numbers of COVID patients here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to have you on today. For those of you that do not know her, she is very well known in the Philippines, and she is, was a president of the Philippine Society and Public Health, president of APA-IO Central Chapter, vice president in the past. Very well known and a board member as well. And so it's so nice to have you to kind of give our listeners um, information of what's going on in the Philippines, especially because you're also a faculty member as well at the college there.
Yes, I'm a faculty of Central Escolar University in Menjola, Manila, and it's the oldest university in the Philippines. And it started in 1928, the
Wow.
School of Optometry.
How many years is the optometry education in the Philippines?
Optometry education in the Philippines now is 6 years. So for you to be an optometrist, you have to study for 6 years and pass the board exam. That's given by the PRC, Philippine Regulation Commission, Professional Regulation Commission. It's a written exam and it's also have a practical exam. Then after passing the board, then you can take your license and you can practice optometry.
What does optometry look like? What are the different types of practices? Are there private practices, college, corporate? What do those look like?
Yeah, in the Philippines, we have different practice of optometry. We have the commercial practice, and we have the private solo practice also, and we have the practice in the eye centers or in the hospital, the clinical based practice. And there are some specialty practices also in the Philippines, like pediatric optometry, low vision, and also contact lens, especially the ortho K. And now we have the vision therapy that's under neurooptometry and behavioral optometry. That's something new in the Philippines now.
Yeah. What are some corporate players there in the Philippines?
As of now, we have, I think, five big corporate company in the country. The leading company are Ideal Vision or IBC and EO or Executive Optical. Both owners are graduate of Central Escolar University, Menjola, Manila. I think they have more than 300 chains all over the country.
Now, optometrists are. What is the scope of practice there in the Philippines? How is it regulated? Is it through the government? How does it work in the Philippines?
In the Philippines, the practice of optometry is regulated by the Professional Regulation Commission. It's a government regulatory body um, appointed by the President of the Philippines, the Commissioner. And from the Commissioner or from the Chairman, we have the Board of Optometry. The Board of Optometry are group of optometrists who regulate the profession in terms of bylaws, in terms of the system and organization of the profession. And they are the one who gave also the board exam or the licensure exam for the incoming optometrist, the one who graduate the 6 year course. So you must take the 6 year curriculum. Then after taking the six year, after you graduate, you have to pass the licensure examination, both written and practical exam.
Yeah. Now, when I interview optometry all over the world, some countries have more scope than others. Is how is it in the Philippines? Are they most of it is like in India? They have different certifications. Some will just refract, some will do a little more, some will also dispense. Are they able to do some diagnostics, things like that, and therapeutics or?
Yeah, in the Philippines, in Asia Pacific, no, Philippines have a 6-year curriculum, meaning that when you graduate, you will be called Doctor of Optometry. So when you can practice, you can dispense specialty lenses, contact lenses, and also you can we can instill DPA or diagnostic pharmaceutical agent, so
Excellent.
cycloplegic drugs. So the 6-year graduate can do that. But 6-year was approved in 1998 only. So most of the practitioners are from the old curriculum, the 4-year graduate. So the 4-year graduate, they need to study again pharmacology and take the pharmacological exam given by the Professional Regulation Commission for them to practice cycloplegic refraction.
Very nice. It's great to hear that because I talked to a lot of, optometrists all over the world, and there's really fighting to get that access to have that, to provide that care to the patients. How did that work in the Philippines? I mean, it's been 20 years now, but how did they, fight for that to move forward optometry? Because one of the big initiatives of doing this podcast of optometry all over the world is to identify the struggles that optometrists have and how some countries like the US have all this huge scope and then just try to get doctors and lift everybody up to kind of be on the same page.
Yeah, that's true. No, for the past 50 years, optometry in the country has been evolving. Then the realization of the optometrists to be able to instill cycloplegic drugs to do cycloplegic refraction came from the research also, and clinical research and clinical incidents of pediatric patients and also patients with accommodative convergence problem, that or binocular vision problem that needs cycloplegic refraction. So from that need, the association together with the Congress and Senate, we were able to come up with a new Republic Act or law for a new law for optometry. The old law was RA 1998. Then through Congress and through the Senate, a new law was revised. It's Republic Act 8050, which allows optometrists to do cycloplegic refraction. So it was approved by the Congress and the Senate.
Yeah, and it took a lot of work probably to kind of
Yes,
yes, and
yes.
everyone kind of coming together. Has the optometrists in the Philippines had opposition in the past? There's a different organizations that kind of oppose it, or is it just not being educated on the topic?
When the Republic Act 8050 was under the Congress and Senate, some of the ophthalmologists, the group of ophthalmologists were not in favor of optometrists doing the cycloplegic refraction. So the law was not approved by the president. No, it was vetoed. Then optometrists fight for it. The group of optometrists, again, association. Our association is the IPAO, the Integrated Philippine Association of Optometrists, also known as Samahan ng Optometry sa Pilipinas before. So this group of leaders, they fight for what we need as doctors and for the what is good for our patient. Then the law was revised again in Congress and Senate. Then finally, it was approved by the Philippine president.
Yeah, one of this great thing about doing podcasts all over the world is that what I found is optometry is very strong in countries where there is not a lot of ophthalmologists, a lot of opposition. But I think all of us can really, over time, and is really expand scope and what we want to do if we're passionate about it, if we really want to fight for it. Because I think we can use the U.S. as an example of what optometrists are doing, and we can all work together to kind of expand scope. And I challenged the doctors in the U.S. to really care about what's going on all over the world, because a lot of corporations are based outside of the U.S. and their argument is, hey, here we do this, it's just a refraction, no one's harmed, we're just looking to sell some glasses. So hopefully we can all come together and help each other. So if there's anything that we can do here in the Philippines to help you, I'm happy to do that, and connect and kind of try to move optometry forward, because I think it's super important. In terms of public health optometry, how do you do service delivery in your community?
As of now, the optometrists here are very cooperative of service delivery in public health, because our association, the IPAO and PSPHOO, are accredited association of the Department of Health. So whatever program in terms of eye care of the Department of Health, they gave the program to the association, then the association will create awareness among the doctors of what the DOH program. Then the doctors will uh, help also by doing services in their community or in their barangay or in their municipality or region. So last 2019, we have our Philippine Eye Health Summit, which was attended by the WHO and the World Health Organization, and also the Brian Holden Foundation, Research Foundation, and together with the Department of Health. The main leader in this Eye Health Summit is the IPAO, the Integrated Philippine Association of Optometrists. So we do work together, both association, to promote eye health or community eye health to the public.
Yeah, I am a member of World Council of Optometry, and I think it's important that we all come together, because it's that's their initiative, is to bring optometry up all over the world, and I think the AOA is involved as well. So I think that's important, and and it's good to kind of see that there have been changes and significant changes recently here in the U.S. We've had like a burst like of excitement and interest in myopia management. And I know it's also been like a global trend. How does the Philippines participate in this, and what's the prevalence in your country?
In terms of myopia prevalence, Department of Health conduct a study in 2016, and they released the study in 2018, stating that the error of refraction in the country is about 4.64% of the total population. And what our association is doing, especially IPAO, IPAO is a member of AOC, the ASEAN Optometric Congress. And AOC and other partners are very aggressive in terms of myopia management or myopia control. And together with Brian Holden Foundation and other industry partners, we have this myopia control center. We have it now in IPAO center or office. So we have the myopia management team also. We created it. That is based on the Brian Holden Foundation and also the ASEAN Optometric Congress foundation in terms of myopia management and treatment. So now we have the myopia master. Our association was the first one to come up or buy a myopia master to for us to do more services to our myopia patient. So most of the topics in the national convention or regional convention are about myopia and myopia management and myopia control. So And good thing that industry partners have their products also to promote and help practitioners in terms of treatment and management of myopia, whether it's lenses or 2K or contact lenses. So now the Philippine optometrists are very much aware of the responsibility of an optometrist at an early age of a child who have a myopia.
Yeah, it's super important. And it's also kind of, also it'll also open doors to what optometrists can do and how it's helps the patient throughout their life, right? And then hopefully open doors more things for scope and things like that. So
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for joining the podcast today. It's great to have some insight. Great to have world leaders all over the world on this podcast, and just shed some light and hopefully some love on optometry in Philippines, because it's so important that we help each other and expand scope all over the world. As we've come such a long way here in the U.S. and even getting lasers and things like that. I mean, we're so far ahead. I didn't realize until doing this podcast how far behind optometry is all over the world, and I think we could help and bring it forward, because it is super important and it's good for our patients too. And ophthalmology is not going away. They shouldn't be afraid. We can also help them assist. Here in the U.S., there is a big need for ophthalmology. We are here to assist, and I think we can kind of educate ophthalmologists all over the world too, to say, here, we're in here together, help our patients. We're not looking to harm your profession. We're looking to help make it easier for you.
Very true. As of now, the ophthalmologist group welcome optometrists. It has changed through the years. So some of the practitioners are working in the eye centers and helping the ophthalmologists and working also in the hospital. So now we have a good relationship with the ophthalmologists.
Yeah, because it's education. It's all the hard work that people did over the years, right?
Yes.
And it's that, and setting examples. Even yourself as being a female and being a leader in that area, you set examples that females that want to be optometrists can look up to you to have that leadership position. So you should be proud of yourself and what you're presenting for the women in optometry in the Philippines.
Thank you very much, Doc Sampalis. And
Thank
it's
you.
nice to be here. And thank you for your invitation to know more about optometry in the Philippines. So we do hope that we can collaborate and do future project.
Yeah, I'm happy to collaborate. Whatever I can do, you have my email, and and whatever connections I can make to kind of help, because I think it's super important.
Yeah, true.
All right,
Very
thank you
true.
so
We
much.
should be helping each other. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you.